Hey everyone. So today we'll be looking at use context and let's see how we can implement it. Let me zoom this a bit. Is that better? I guess it's better this way. Okay. So to give you a brief background about why I'm going over this is like today I had an interview with Cinecron and they asked me this question. You like what is use context and how you can implement it. So I knew what use context is, um, but I was not able to implement it on the go because of the syntax, and I've not used it extensively, and it's on me. So yeah, here I am trying to figure out what it is, like how I can implement it. So next time an interviewer asks me, so I don't even know if it is a good question to be asked in an interview. Irrespective of that, let's get into this and see what we can do, what we can learn about this thing. Okay, so I've read this document over and over again, like, but before going to the interview, I didn't revise this. So context provides data to components, no matter how deep they are in the component tree. The context is used to manage global data, global state, themes, services, user settings, and more. Okay, in this post, you'll learn how to use the concept in React. So how to use context. Using the context in React requires three simple steps. Creating this context. Oh, okay, create context was there. Okay, I did not use this creating the context, providing the context, and consuming the context. So let's open up a sandbox, sandbox.io, and let's go there. And it was really embarrassing that I was not able to, come up with a solution. So yeah, let me open up this. Okay, so yeah, that is what I tried to do. Use so if I create context, so create context, I need to import. So initial value, and I know for sure that I did not meet through that interview. I even wrote a Medium blog post about it, and yeah. So const context, we need to write it as a const context. So initial value, we have this here. Okay, I have not used it, but yeah. So we have created our context with default value. The factory function accepts one optional argument, the default value. Okay, provided in context. So context.provider. Okay, once we have defined the context in the context.js, then what we can do is provide we can have a context.provider component available on the context instance is used to provide the context or to its child component context, no matter how deep they are. To set the value of context, use the value prop available on the context.provider value. Okay, so again, what's important here is that all the component that that how do you see this that they like later to consume the context have to be wrapped inside the provider component. Again, what's important here is that all the components that like later to consume the context have to be wrapped inside the provider component. If you want to change the context value, simply update the value prop. Consuming the context. Consuming the context can be performed in two ways. The first way, the one I recommend, is to use context and the context name. Okay, I hear clearly clearly I didn't do this. The hook returns the value of the context value is equal to use context. The hook also makes sure to re-render the component when the context value changes. The second way is by using render functions applied as a children to context consumer, a special component available on the context instance. Okay, so what we need to do here is that we need to create a file and call it context.js. And once we create that file, what we need to do is import create context from React. And once we have imported this, what we need to do is const context is equal to create context default value. Okay, once we have this, we need to export this as well, export context. And once we have it with us, we know what to do. We know that we provider dot context is there, right? This provider context, we need to import this context here. So import context not from React but from dot context, right? But how it is not able to find this file? Is it able to see just the TS files? Do I need to define it as a TS? I believe so. Let's rename this TS. So if I go in here and then search, okay, yeah, now I got the context and context. Then I come here, then what I need to do is context dot provider. I need to wrap my whole app with it. Okay, once I value is missing, right? So we need to pass a value equals to value. But where is that value coming from? So value is const my Oh, not here, but const, let's say count. Okay, got it. So const name set name is equal to use state xy, or let's keep it an empty one. Okay, and then once we do that, we have provided the context. Now, in okay, so we should have done it in main.tsx where we should have wrapped this everything in the main tsx. But yeah, even though if we have app and let's say we create another file, child or dummy.tsx, then rafc, okay, no, const dummy is equal to a functional component. Then here, how we can include is let value is equal to use context, and we need to import the created context, right? Import context from context. So once we do that, we need to also supply that context to this guy, and most importantly, we need to also import use context from React, and this is giving error because we have not used it anywhere else. So span value span. Okay, buddy. Okay, yeah. And we need to export default dummy. Then we need to also include, we don't need all of this. We don't need all of this, right? We just need to import dummy here. is, okay, one more thing we gotta do is div because we accidentally deleted the div. Okay, so now this is perfect. So we have created the div, and if we pass sumos to it, let's see what happens. So yeah, span is writing out the sumos. Okay, so cool. So that's how we import this guy. Okay, you can have as many consumers as you want for a single context if the context value changes by changing the value. The main idea of using context is to allow your component to access global data and re-render when the global data is changed. Context solves the prop tiddling problem. When you have to pass down props from parent to children, you can hold inside the context global state, theme, application configuration, authenticated username, user settings, preferred language. Okay, I got the use case of this. Okay, so this is a good article to go over use context if you ever want to learn what it is and how it exactly works. So I just wanted to see how it is getting implemented and how we can, consume it. Okay. So next time in interview, I will surely be able to come up with this thing. I'm pretty much confident about that. But yeah, like these things, if you don't practice, it won't stay with you for. So yeah, hopefully next time I remember this and will be able to provide a good explanation to the interviewer. Okay, got it. Um, that is it, guys, for this one. We'll see something else in the next stream. Okay, ciao.